of ear diseases. Already we have entered into the ear yesterday itself. धीरे 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 हम लोगों ने कान में से एंटर हुए हैं एक्सटर्नल ऑडिटरी कैनाल, फिर मिडिल ईयर, फिर इनर ईयर. Okay, so yesterday I have given you the bird's eye view of all the things. Okay, so what is ear, external, middle and inner, and what are the clinical features or symptoms, whatever the patient comes to us. Now today I'm going to discuss about, in short, about the different diseases. For example, if a patient has come to you, yesterday itself I told pain in the ear. Okay, what you need to do as an examiner. So as a homeopath, we have to go for the differential diagnosis of the remedy, which we are going to discuss today itself. And as a doctor, we have to even diagnose the case also for the prognosis of the case. So one by one, I am going to discuss in brief the diseases of the ear along with homeopathic approach at the same spot. So shall we start? All of you are ready?
Yes, madam, very much ready. Please start.
Thank you, ma'am. So the first disease which I am going to tell you is otomycosis. So I don't know how many of you have heard about this condition. Mycosis is fungal infection. Fungal infection, whenever body में fungal infection कब होता है? Usually when a person's immune resistance, immunity is too less at that time, or else very commonly nowadays which we come through the cases, overuse of antibiotics. Another condition we can go for is like recurrent entry of water into the ear, or in rainy seasons. I remember when I was teaching in the hospital, to my I was taking a clinical class, a group of students. So we have come through a case in the OPD. There I have shown to my students, almost we can see a fungus, जैसे bread पे fungus आता है ना summer rainy season में. The same thing you can see in the ear itself. So what it is? It is the fungal infection of the external auditory canal, which is often referred to as fungal otitis externa, which is commonly seen in hot humid climates and those who swim frequently or who use ear drops improperly, or I can say more than improperly, it is excessive use of ear drops. So this is fungal infection. Causes. So these are the fungal organisms. Okay, as a homeopath, we may not be much interested about these causes. This is Aspergillus niger, Candida albicans, Aspergillus fumigatus, Penicillium species. But these things usually what we see is they have different colors. Like Aspergillus, it presents with whitish things. Candida albicans, Aspergillus fumigatus. What are the causes? Excessive moisture in the ear, like swimming, sweating, use of broad spectrum antibiotics or steroidal ear drops. This is a very, very common condition by which the patient comes to us. Then immunocompromised states, like example diabetes and HIV, or trauma to the ear canal, like example scratching or use of earbuds. What are the clinical features? Most common symptom is itching. Itching, itching, itching. Excessive itching. Often intense and persistent. We usually come through these cases very commonly. Then mild ear discharge. Ear discharge may not be much prominent. If at all, if it is there, we can see it like thick, white, black or yellowish fungal debris. As I told you, it looks like as if we see in rainy season, अगर 4-5 दिन के बाद bread को देखते हैं, तो usually we come through a hairy fungal-like appearance. That thing we can see. Then pain in the ear, which is mild to moderate discomfort, fullness in the ear due to fungal mass or swelling, then hearing loss, which is conductive. So when we go for types of deafness, we can see that there will be, this is conductive deafness, which is usually temporary. And tinnitus may occur in some cases. Signs of examinations. In this figure, you can see. So not this much clarity, but we can see this type of fungal infection in the ear. So I request everyone, whenever a patient comes to us, obviously we examine the ear, but the most important thing is we should examine it with a otoscope, self-illuminating otoscope, which will help you to examine the ear. Black or white fluffy fungal spores in the canal, which is inflamed, scaly or macerated ear canal skin, and presence of fungal debris or discharge. I hope everyone I am audible to everyone. सुनाई दे रहा है? Or is there any problem with my connection?
No, ma'am. All well.
Okay. Otoscopy, visualization of fungal growth. Then microscopy or culture. This is of not much use for us, but still these are the investigations. I told you that we have the tools for the confirmation. The other pathies, they go for this culture for especially to prescribe the antifungal treatment. KOH mount, fungal elements visible under the microscope. Small amount is taken and it is observed under the microscope. How will you differentiate? We have to differentiate it from bacterial otitis externa, chronic suppurative otitis media, eczema of ear canal, foreign body. अभी कैसे differentiate करेंगे? अभी bacterial है. So if at all, if it is bacterial otitis externa, how will you differentiate it from fungal otitis externa? So the thing is on examination itself. Very important. Hahnemann always told, observe signs and symptoms. Physician should be a observer, keen observer. So if we observe the things, we can get the differentiation. In bacterial, there will be some smell, mild discharge is more, and itching is not there in bacterial, whereas in fungal there is itching. Remember, these points are helpful for the differential diagnosis. Bacterial otitis externa में itching नहीं रहता, but otomycosis, which is fungal infection, में extreme itching is there. Then chronic suppurative otitis media. This presents with extreme discharge, which is obviously offensive. Eczema of the ear canal. So eczema of the ear canal may sometimes present with the itching, but you will have this eczema visible to your eyes. Then foreign body. Foreign body in the ear, obviously it will be unilateral, one thing. Second thing, usually the children, we come through the cases, and unilateral, and there will be no history of exposure to swimming or etc. And foreign body will be visible in the ear. How will you manage this case? Oral toileting. What does this mean? So we can do this. I hope, and I wish, or I should tell you that even being a homeopath, we should know these things, how you should manage the things. Not simply giving the medicine, we should be able to cleaning the ear canal thoroughly, which is called as typical syringing. Okay, so syringing can be done even by us also. Cleaning the ear canal thoroughly is the first thing. All the debris which has been accumulated should be cleaned. Later on, it should be completely kept dry. Avoid moisture and avoid trauma. So other system, they go for antifungals, which we usually don't prefer. Then our remedies. What are the remedies which will help us? Calcarea sulph, which presents with yellow, thick discharge and offensive smell. Silicea is commonly used in fungal infections with sensitivity and perspiration. Tellurium, fungal infections with eczema-like symptoms, offensive ear discharge. Graphites, which presents with cracked moist eruptions around ears, sticky discharges. Sulfur. Sulfur is very commonly used whenever there are recurrent infections with itching, burning and dryness. Sulfur can be used as an intercurrent remedy. Merxol, foul-smelling discharge with ulceration and inflammation. So this is, in short, we are going through a homeopathic therapeutics, means a group of medicines which can be used in this disease. Then obviously, remedy selection is based completely on the individualization or on the totality of symptoms. How can you avoid or prevent? Aphorism number 4. If you remember, we have to prevent. So avoid inserting foreign objects into the ear. Keep ears dry, especially after swimming or bathing. Avoid overuse of antibiotics and steroid ear drops. So the first condition which we have discussed today is otomycosis. Otomycosis, सबसे important thing which you have to remember is itching and hairy-like growth in the ear along with pain. Then coming to the second condition, furunculosis, very most common condition. Yesterday itself I told, in the external auditory canal, in the outer part we have hair follicles. So furunculosis is nothing but acute bacterial infection involving the hair follicles and sebaceous glands in the external auditory canal. So it may be present with either one boil or there may be multiple boils. What is the organism? Obviously it is Staphylococcus aureus. Predisposing factors include trauma, poor hygiene, diabetes and immunosuppression. Remember, trauma, recurrent use of cotton buds, fingernails or keeping some bodies into the, like matchsticks many people use, towel edges many people use. These all things will lead to furunculosis of the ear. And whenever, if a patient is coming to us with the recurrent boils in the ear, first thing we should go for or look for is to rule out diabetes. If a middle-aged patient around 40 coming to us, no other symptoms, nothing. But if at all coming to us, then we should look for diabetes. Symptoms. So as I told you, in otomycosis also external ear, but severe pain, वहाँ पे pain इतना नहीं होता है, और pain here is localized. Even patient can't even lie down. That's the severe extreme pain, localized throbbing pain which worsens with jaw movement. And second important symptom, remember, is tender swelling is noticed, localized erythema around the furuncle which often precedes pain, itching, hearing loss, which may be due to obstruction of ear canal, which is very mild or even unnoticeable. If the boil bursts, then maybe mild discharge may be seen. Then this thing you always examine. Again, be observant, especially enlargement of cervical nodes. If at all a boil is there in the ear, small, छोटी सी गांठ लग रही है कान के सामने या थोड़ा कान के पीछे, यहाँ पे थोड़ी गांठ लग रही है. In some cases there may be even fever also. How will you diagnose? Diagnosis is based on clinical examination, that is swollen red tender lump in the external canal, otoscopy which is painful, difficult due to canal narrowing, and swab culture to confirm bacterial cause. But this is not of useful to us. How will you differentiate? So as I told you, otomycosis is, its presentation is different and basing on the and treatment needs are different. Impacted wax, इसमें भी पैसे ही pain होता है, but the typical blockage or build-up of cerumen you can see. Eczema, we can differentiate by inflammatory skin condition. Foreign body, obviously you can see the foreign body if it is kept, and even history of foreign body insertion is available. Acute otitis externa, diffuse inflammation. Whereas the condition which we have dealt now is furunculosis is localized. See, remember, it's very clear, it is localized infection. Management. How will you manage? Warm compresses. Okay, so applying of warm compress to some extent may relieve pain. Again, oral toilet as I told you, but the pain is so severe that patient may not be able to tolerate. So, especially warm compress to some extent may be helpful. Then the other system obviously go for this. Then I'll discuss about our pain relievers. If at all the abscess forms, we can go for incision and drainage. Homeopathic approach. Heparsulf, if the painful sensitive boils, early stages, better with warm. Belladonna, obviously red, hard, throbbing furuncles, sudden onset. Silicea, recurrent boils, promote suppuration and healing. Merxol, pus with offensive. So the selection, if you go through, our remedies are same in spite of the disease name being different. Okay, so we remember, even I'll tell you in the next slides, that Plantago, use of Plantago installation into the drops will relieve the pain immediately. Other than Mullein oil. Mullein oil is for cerumen, and for pain usually Plantago is advised. So what happens if this boil or furuncle is not treated? It may lead to collection of pus requiring drainage, or it may lead to spread of infection leading to cellulitis, or it may go to perichondritis, whole ear may get inflamed, or temporarily patient may be presenting with temporary hearing loss. Again the same thing, avoid inserting the objects, prevention, maintain good ear hygiene, prompt treatment of minor ear irritations, then manage chronic conditions like diabetes, control underlying conditions that may cause increased risk of infection. This condition, earwax or cerumen. If you can see this figure actually doesn't match with it. What is cerumen? It is obviously a natural secretion. It is seen in everyone. But why do some people get affected with this condition? सब में earwax secrete होता है, but only few people they come to us with the presentation that they have recurrent obstruction with the cerumen or wax. What is cerumen? Which is commonly known as earwax. It is a natural secretion of the ear canal that helps, protects, lubricates and clean the ear by trapping dust, microorganisms and foreign particles. So this cerumen is a protective mechanism of the body. Origin and complications. How does it originate from? It originates from, which is secreted from the ceruminous and sebaceous glands in the outer part of the external auditory canal. Only in the outer part, ceruminous glands, hair follicles, etc. All these things are present only in the outer part of external auditory canal. So what is the composition? It consists of lipids, fatty acids, which is shed skin cells, and also cholesterol. So earwax is secreted by ceruminous or sebaceous glands in the outer third of the external auditory canal. It is a complex mixture of lipids, fatty acids, shed skin cells and cholesterol. What are the normal functions? It's protective, means it protects us from antibacterial and antifungal properties. It prevents dryness and itching of the ear canal. It traps dust and dirt debris, moves outward naturally. Barrier function. It blocks the foreign particles and insects. There are two types. Wet type, brown sticky, which is common in people of African and European descent. Dry type, grey flaky, common in East Asians and Native Americans. Causes. क्यों होता है? Only few people suffer with this impacted or wax buildup. What happens is daily cerumen is secreted, daily this earwax is secreted, but it sheds off daily. So it doesn't get impacted. When does it get impacted? When there is overproduction or when there are narrow or hairy ear canal. Some people have more hairs in the ear, very hairy ears. In those people get impacted. And narrow ear canal is obviously, it is a hereditary tendency which is we get from the genes. Then use of cotton buds or earplugs, wearing hearing aids, excessive use. Now this is very common. Then aging, wax becomes harder and drier according to age. So what will be the symptoms? Conductive deafness or due to blockage. Nowadays the patient comes to us, since few days I feel that ear is blocked up and I am unable to hear. I feel that my hearing sensation is reduced. This is the complaint given by the patient. Then second is sensation of blockage or pressure, tinnitus or ringing or buzzing in the ear as if something is sounds. Then itching, that is irritation due to wax buildup, pressure induced pain and dizziness, which is very rare. So more common symptom with which the patient come to is hearing loss. Then second symptom the patient come to is ear fullness. How will you? So this is the otoscope, which is self-illuminated. It has a light. We can easily examine till the tympanic membrane. I can tell if we have this, we can clearly observe the tympanic membrane, its color and everything. So direct visualization of the wax in the canal. So clinical symptoms correlate with the ear blockage. So only we don't have any investigations tools here. The only thing where we can, so black mass of cerumen or brown mass of cerumen gets impacted can be clearly visible. How will you manage? So obviously ear drops to soften wax, that is glycerin, hydrogen peroxide, olive oil or carbamide peroxide. These drops are by the other system. Even we may advise to soften the wax, or else we have a very good important weapon with us, that is Mullein oil. Then ear syringing, definitely this is to be advised. Even though you are using Mullein oil, even though you are instilling drops, we need to go for this irrigation or ear syringing so that the wax should completely come out. Or sometimes, if it is possible, after the installation of the drops, either Mullein oil or by these ceraminolytics, so we may perform by using a suction or by a professional manually we can remove. What are the remedies? Graphites, very common remedy. Dry flaky wax with itching or eczema of external canal. Silicea, hard impacted wax, recurrent accumulation, very important. I have cured cases with silicea and conium, especially conium and lachesis also. These are the three remedies which we usually I have given and have got very good results for this recurrent accumulation. Patient never complains after we give these medicines. Patient usually never complains of recurrent accumulation. Or else it's a body's tendency. As we have constitutional tendencies, accumulation of wax is a body's constitutional tendency getting accumulated. So with these remedies, we can remove the tendencies to get accumulated. Causticum, difficulty hearing due to wax, especially in elderly. Lachesis, sensitivity with wax with inflammation. Callimore, deafness due to thick white ear discharge of wax. Conium, hard wax and recurrent accumulation of wax. Again and again this thing is coming. Avoid inserting objects and cleaning ear with towel tips. Let wax come out naturally. Use preventive seminolytic drops if you are prone to build up, and regular checkups if using hear aids or earplugs. In short, I have given you the other conditions. We have discussed the main important conditions. Clinically, हमारे पास जो cases आते हैं that I have discussed. I'll tell you among these list. If it is it visible to you or the font is too short?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. I told you yesterday about cauliflower ear. Do you remember anyone? Boxers.
Yes.
There's one condition, perichondritis complete. पूरा कान लाल हो जाता है. Inflammation of cartilage after trauma or piercing. Second condition is cauliflower ear, which is due to repeated trauma, common in wrestlers. Cauliflower ear is nothing but it is hematoma of the ear. Keloid, overgrowth of scar tissue of usually seen after post piercing. Again, this is a body's tendency. Then frostbite, cold injury leading to necrosis of ear tissues. If we go through very cold climates, first thing which gets affected is our ear. Excessive exposure to cold, हम बहुत low temperatures में, like minus में, if we go there in hill stations, the first thing which gets affected is the perichondrium which gets affected, or the pinna which we see. Then external auditory canal includes foreign body, contact dermatitis. Remember this, herpes zoster oticus, Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. This is a very common condition which is seen usually along with facial palsy, because seventh nerve, which is facial nerve, its course is from the ear. Okay, so whenever ear gets affected, seventh nerve gets affected. Seventh nerve when get affected, ear also gets affected. So Ramsay-Hunt syndrome it is called as. There are vesicles like herpes zoster oticus. Then most of the external ear diseases present with more pain in ear. Some tips to relieve pain given by our stalwarts. If there is no raw wound in ear, installation of few drops of Plantago mother tincture relieves pain immediately. But remember the condition, most of the ear diseases present with more pain. But if there is no raw wound in the ear, then only you can go for. Then Mullein oil, which relieves wax infection and inflammatory conditions also. But if the eardrum is perforated, then Plantago mother tincture should not be used. Then we have completed with the external ear diseases, now entering into the inner ear. Middle ear, sorry. First thing is acute otitis media. All of you know about it. Acute infection of the middle ear, which is common in children. Remember, more commonly children of age group either 5, 6, 7 years to 15 years age group. These usually come to us with this recurrent infection of the ear caused by bacteria, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenza, or any viruses. But more commonly, it is bacterial, which usually follows URTI, that is upper respiratory tract infection. And the reason behind this is being the eustachian tube very small in children. How will be the symptoms? Sudden ear pain, fever, red bulging tympanic membrane. Again, this is noticed on examination. Hearing loss very mild and very common is irritability in children. पता नहीं, बच्चा बता नहीं रहा है. The child is not complaining, but continuously he is keeping his hand on the ear and he is continuously showing his irritability and weeping or crying. So this will be the sign which is noticed by the parents. Then we come to the notice that this is because of ear. So this is of not much use for us. The other system, they go for antibiotics, etc. If at all, what happens is in some cases, the eardrum gets so much filled up that it becomes difficult for the person for the child to tolerate. At that time, emergency procedure of myringotomy. Myringotomy means just piercing the eardrum. Simply giving the small cut, not even an incision we can say. It is simply giving a pierce. Why this is done is, this is so that जो भी pus accumulate हुआ है middle ear में, that drains out. For the draining of the middle ear pus, we have to give a small myringotomy procedure which is done. So homeopathic management includes obviously belladonna, chamomilla, heparsal, pulsatilla, ferrum phos. These are the remedies. All of us know about the indication: sudden intense pain with red face and throbbing. Chamomilla, intolerable pain. Chamomilla is considered as a boon in homeopathy for the relief of ear pain. Heparsal, pain with sensitivity and ear suppuration. Pulsatilla, obviously thick black bland discharge. Ferrum phos in early stages. Then remember this BMHS for the 4 stages. There are 4 stages in acute otitis media. In the first stage, if at all is coming, the patient is coming only with congestion, then belladonna. Okay. Then after that, there will be a second stage, extreme congestion along with mild starting of suppuration. We can go for Merxol. Heparsulf is indicated when the suppuration has already completed or to increase the suppuration so that it will be helpful for drainage. Then after the pus has been discharged, we can give Cilicia. So this is a mnemonic to remember in ear cases of acute otitis media: belladonna, Merxol, Heparsulf and Cilicia. Then the second condition in the middle ear is chronic suppurative otitis media. So what is the difference between acute and chronic? This is very important to remember. Persistent middle ear infection with tympanic membrane perforation and ear discharge which lasts more than 3 months. Continue, कान में से बहता ही जा रहा है, बस there is always the discharge. 3 months discharge and it may be not even continue. 3 months discharge है, 3 months dry है, 3 months again discharge. This is the pattern of chronic suppurative otitis media. You can't expect the patient to be present all through the ear. So chronic suppurative otitis media is the persistent middle ear infection. Persistent means it is continuous infection is there. But the discharge which lasts for more than 3 months, then the case will be diagnosed as chronic suppurative otitis media. Persistent and recurrent purulent discharge, hearing loss, possible foul smell and risk of complications like mastoiditis and facial palsy. Very, 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 very common this condition. Most of the times patient neglect. 3 महीने हो गए, 6 महीने हो गए, साल भर, 2 साल, 3 साल. Continuously going through antibiotics, but the treatment is not completed. But the patient will land on to complications, and complications include mastoiditis and facial palsy. Again here, oral toileting. This is cleaning or complete maintenance of ear clean. Taxol, offensive discharge with night aggravation. Silesia, chronic recurrent cases. Everywhere Silesia, one statement is clearly given, recurrent cases. And in delayed healing also it is given. So Silesia has the tendency, yesterday one of the doctor asked me about the perforation healing. So Silesia has the tendency to heal the perforated tympanic membrane. Kali bichromicum, thick, stringy, yellow discharge. In the group we were discussing since yesterday regarding Kali bic itself. Then graphite, sticky, glue-like discharge. Calcarea salve, yellow, thick discharge, tendency to suppuration. Another common condition. Am I going through a proper channel or everyone are sleeping or listening? चल रहा है ठीक और फास्ट जा रहा है मेरा? Am I fast?
Yes, madam, you are little fast, so little slow also भी चलेगा.
Okay. Otitis media with effusion or serous otitis media. फर्स्ट हमने देखा acute otitis media, सेकंड हमने देखा chronic otitis. अभी थर्ड है serous otitis. What is the difference between? I'll tell you. First two are with infection. The third one is without infection. This otitis media with effusion or serous otitis media, here there is no infection. Non-purulent fluid accumulation in the middle ear, which is common in children and usually often follows. एक बार acute otitis media हो गया, the patient comes to us, says 1 year back he had a complaint of severe pain. We have went to an ENT, treatment was taken, everything is fine. 1 year, everything is fine. Now since 15 days or since 1 month, this child is complaining of continuously putting hands. Pain may not be there, but continuously the child feels that the ears are blocked up. This fullness in the ear, often noticed by the parents that hearing loss, बच्चे को सुनाई देने में कम लग रहा है, ऐसे parents have noticed. Delayed speech in children. Why delayed speech? Obviously this is because of hearing loss. And no acute signs of infection, nothing. The child doesn't complain of even tonsillitis, the patient had no pharyngitis or even no nasal block, nothing. But this will be the presentation. Otitis media with effusion. Commonly seen why in children? Again the reason is very small eustachian tube. Watchful fainting, because usually self-resolution is seen. They usually go for nasal decongestants, considering that it may be helpful. Then myringotomy with grommet insertion, commonly ENT surgeons go for this. Grommet insertion means they put a small tube, very, very small tube in the tympanic membrane, and it will continuously helps to drain the fluid. It will be kept for a few days, and after a few months, even it will fall off by itself or it may need to be removed. Grommet is a small tube-like structure which is inserted into the tympanic membrane. First remedy for glue ear is white discharge, that is discharge from the ear which is gluey and whitish. Again, Silesia has come over here for recurrent OME, where the patient presents with delayed absorption. Graphites, thick sticky discharge with deafness. Calcarea card, obviously here it comes with flabby chilly children prone to ear infections. Natramure, eustachian tube dysfunction with watery discharge. Many of cases, Calcarea carb and Natramure I have seen. If the child is thin, Natramure will help. If the child is flabby and fat, we can go for Calcarea carb. It will definitely help. Remember one very important thing in this condition, otitis media with effusion. The child recurrently keeps head position like this, or he continuously makes movements. Why? Because the fluid which is accumulated in the middle ear, okay, so it will, वो बच्चे को बराबर सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है. So for that what he does, शायद ये पोजीशन में हुआ तो शायद सुनाई देगा, या ऐसे करूंगा तो सुनाई देगा, या फिर ऐसे करूंगा तो he tries, fluctuating deafness. He tries to keep his head in a comfortable position so that he can listen what other people are saying. Because as such there is no pain in this. Pain नहीं है, ना ही कोई discharge निकल रहा है. But बच्चे को पता है, but बच्चा the child even unable to explain that there is something. Another thing is adhesive otitis media, chronic condition where tympanic membrane adheres to the ossicles or promontory, which results from unresolved what we have discussed right now, this otitis media with effusion. If that is not cleared, which will lead to adhesive otitis media. Adhesive means adhesions. The ossicles which are there in the middle ear, they get sticking to one to another. Symptoms include conductive hearing loss, no active discharge. Causticum, this is of not that much use for us because we usually don't come through the conditions. Another condition is tympanic membrane perforation. So yesterday also there was a query regarding that. Can we treat tympanic membrane perforation with the homeopathy? So I'll ask all my homeopath doctors whether if it is helpful or whether we can help for tympanic membrane perforation without going for tympanoplasty. There was a query in the group. Okay, what is tympanic perforation? Let us discuss first of all. Hole in the eardrum due to trauma, infection or any surgery. What will be the symptoms? Hearing loss, ear discharge, painless or painful depending on the cause. Obviously, keep the ear dry, antibiotics if treated, surgical repair. But in the general management, I'll tell you, if the tympanic, you have to go through the otoscopy, अच्छे से examine करो कि perforation कितना है. If the perforation is very small, it will get cured. But the first thing you should advise the patient is keep the ear packed. Keep the ear packed, complete, not even the entry of water, the entry of air. So if we take this precaution, small tympanic perforations get healed by our constitutional remedies. Silicea helps closing of old perforations. Heparsol prevents suppuration during healing. Sorinum for offensive discharge with deep-seated issues. Fluoric acid, chronic discharge with ulcerations. Most important topic is cholesteatoma. I don't know how many of you have heard about this condition. किसी ने सुना है?
Yes, doctor. So many cases are coming to us now these days.
Okay. So any one of you have any idea what is this? Any one of you have any idea what is this cholesteatoma? Because this is even congenital. I'll give you an example. A small child will be brought to us. न कभी सर्दी हुई है, न गले में दर्द हुआ है बच्चे को, कुछ भी नहीं है. But कान में से continue purulent, very offensive blood stained discharges coming from the ear. So this is the usually complaint. Remember cholesteatoma. The term shows that cholesti मतलब it may be related to cholesterol ऐसे लगेगा. Toma मतलब अपने को ऐसे लगेगा कोई tumor. So neither it has cholesterol nor it is a tumor. Then what it is? So I'll tell you. Abnormal skin growth in the middle ear behind the eardrum. It can be congenital or it can be acquired and aggressive and destructive if not treated. Remember, cholesteatoma should not be neglected. It is a very dangerous condition. While I was in my hospital teaching students, in the OPD, a child was brought to us. The child was absolutely not in a condition even to speak. He has gone into a mental condition. Psychiatric case में गया है because this cholesteatoma has because it has the tendency to eat away the bone. So it has crossed this temporal bone also, it has entered into the brain and his brain is damaged. He has entered into a psychiatric condition. So we have seen, and the history what we got is his ear was continuously oozing out with foul, smelly, and even we have seen the case, even this small insects, they form their even nests into this cholesteatoma also. This is the condition. So cholesteatoma is abnormal skin growth in the middle ear behind the eardrum. मतलब कांदा जैसा कांदे के layers कैसे होते हैं वैसे first there will be one layer, above that one more layer, above that one more layer. It is called as bomb. Cholesteatoma ko bomb, even the term used for this. So abnormal skin growth in the middle ear behind the eardrum. It can be congenital. Congenital means since birth itself. Don't know what is the cause. What is the cause? We don't know. It is exactly why this has happened, don't know. Then it can be acquired and it is aggressive and destructive if not treated. What will be the symptoms? Foul smelling discharge, hearing loss, vertigo, and in later cases it will lead to facial nerve palsy. Very important thing to remember is foul smelling discharge. Here I didn't mention about the bloody discharge, even it will be blood. So foul smelling is so much foul smell. If someone is present in the room also, they can feel something is wrong in this room. So this is the extreme foulness which can see in the smell. In our hospitals, we have seen the such cases because rural people come over there, the neglect. We have seen even so many larvae were being removed when there was a cholesteatoma. So the other system they go for surgical removal. Obviously mastoidectomy. Complete mastoid bone needs to be removed because it has the tendency. Cancer se kam nahi hai cholesteatoma. Remember, cholesteatoma is none less than cancer because it spreads so fast. Once it starts in the middle ear, it will immediately pass on to mastoid bone. Even it may go to the brain also, and even into the inner ear also. Inner ear mein gaya, complete ear ossicles, complete organ of Corti will be damaged. So usually surgical removal is advised. Homeopathic management. Sorinum, obviously the foul smell, foul smelling dark offensive discharge. Merxol, destructive tendency with ulceration. Phosphorus for bony affections, because as I told you, even it has the tendency to affect the bone. It has the capacity to eat away the bone. So bony affections and necrosis, phosphorus, silicia to control the chronicity and prevent recurrences. If you go through from my first slide till here, everywhere silicia is there. And everywhere the condition given is prevent recurrences. So I have collected this information from our stalwart books. So I hope is that clear? Cholesteatoma. Still any doubts anyone wants to ask here itself?
Doctor, see, cholesteatoma is a very good, very nicely you have explained. We got it very much. But recently I got a case where that is diagnosed as cholesteatoma and surgery is also done. He was a lecturer actually, and he is a very old patient for me, and completely explaining about certain vertigo while teaching and the other symptoms of what you said, the balance disturbances, everything is there. So I've been treating for them, and at one fine day he said that something is happening in the ear also. Then I thought that it could be ear balance is disturbed because of the tinnitus-like symptom like that. So I have sent him to a surgeon to first go and check, and that it was came as cholesteatoma, and he has done the surgery. The thing I want to ask is, there is no discharge at all, and never he had any one drop of wetness also in the ear. So what you are explaining about the foul smelling discharge. So I wanted to ask you that whether the cholesteatoma, there is a dryness is also there.
No, ma'am. You told that already surgery has been done. Means cholesteatoma has been removed.
Yes, before that and after that also, never he had in his life any type of discharge from the ear. That is what I want to explain. So that is what is my doubt. So
but
cholesteatoma.
Are you sure the confirmation? Because usually I have searched since these many years I am teaching. Cases I have seen 2 to 3 cases, that with complications. Okay. So cholesteatoma, nowhere it is mentioned that discharge will not be there.
That is what I had a doubt, and that's why maybe that is an odd case or something like, because I well remember that case. He came to he went to a surgeon and removed, and now also he is in contact with me. Surgery has done 3 years back, and now recently last week he came to me. Again I had some problem with that ear like that. But now also he doesn't have any discharge. Extremely dryness is there. So that is where I have given him bryonia after the surgery. So then he is little bit better now. That's a different issue. But what I want to ask is, dryness will also be there as a symptom in cholesteatoma or not? That is
Till
what-
now, since so many books I have referred, I have not noticed anywhere in any book.
Okay. So that is what I did.
First
I
thing,
was.
matlab, as I told you na, so much of foul smelling that even we can notice. Arsenic.
Yes,
what is it?
that's what. That's nothing is there in that patient, that particular patient. Maybe that could be an odd case also. We need
That
to remember.
could be an
that
odd
one.
case, maybe.
Yes, because he was completely surgery done for that same condition, cholesteatoma only. That is why I said that I remember that case like that. Okay, doctor, thank you. And
Remember this. Abnormal skin growth in the middle ear. What is the mucous membrane which we see usually this keratinized squamous epithelium is not noticed in the middle ear. Okay, glandular epithelium is there in the middle ear. But in case of cholesteatoma, that glandular epithelium is replaced by the keratinized squamous epithelium. जो स्किन में होता है वो स्किन वहां पे आ जाता है मिडिल ईयर में. This is the pathology. So we can select the remedies basing on that also. Okay, I am telling you this in the detail for the selection of the remedy. Whatever here the remedies which I have given, these are basing on the symptoms given by the patient, right? Or else what we see, foul smelling, dark offensive discharge, destructive tendency, etc. But अगर ये tendency के ऊपर आप अगर drug दोगे, now I don't remember or I don't have much idea about those things. So we usually our people who go for homeopathy in detail study, those people can select the remedy basing on this. ऐसा क्या हो सकता है जिसकी वजह से मिडिल ईयर का एपिथेलियम रिप्लेस होके स्किन जैसा एपिथेलियम वहां पे फॉर्म हो रहा है. ऐसा बॉडी की क्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल टेंडेंसी हो सकती है? वी कैन वर्क आउट ऑन दिस. Okay?
Yeah, can we take misplaced rubric, madam, here like that? Like we take like the ectopic pregnancies के लिए एक misplaced rubric लेते हैं ना? Rubric.
हाँ, means
That is the skin is.
abnormal here.
Yeah.
और ये सभी को नहीं होता है क्योंकि ये टेंडेंसी है, टेंडेंसी होती है. मतलब नॉर्मली ग्लैंडुलर एपिथेलियम रहता है मिडिल ईयर में, which is hairy, which helps for the wetness and everything. But this thing in case of here abnormal skin growth, that itself मतलब glandular epithelium निकल के keratinized squamous epithelium is put in the middle ear. क्यों, कैसे, exactly not yet. Many researchers are going on, but it is maybe as a homeopath we may help these people. Then otosclerosis. How many of you have heard about this otosclerosis? It is a very interesting topic. Any one of you? I think.
Yes, doctor, yes.
सुना है? Yes. Commonly in females it is noticed, especially either menopause or during pregnancy. Very common. Sclerosis. The name itself is clear. Sclerosed. So in the middle ear we have three bones: malleus, incus, and stapes. Stapes is the bone which is the connection between the middle ear and the inner ear. So the problem of otosclerosis is at the stapes. What happens in the otosclerosis? So abnormal bone growth around the stapes causing fixation and conductive hearing loss. It is hereditary or more common in females and it worsens during pregnancy. How the patient comes to us? No problem. But since pregnancy, my hearing is being reduced. Or since menopause तो early maybe not that कि वो presbyosis नहीं है. Presbyosis तो 60 के बाद होता है, age wise hearing loss. But ये तो usually 45-50 में मेरे periods गए हैं, उसके बाद से मुझे महसूस हो रहा है कि सुनाई कम दे रहा है. और एक बहुत important factor इनका ये है कि जब शांत रहती हूँ तो बिल्कुल भी सुनाई नहीं देता किसी ने कुछ बोला तो. बट मैं जब रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टैंड जैसे नॉइसी एरियाज में रहती हूँ तब मुझे थोड़ा कुछ सुनाई देता है. This is what is the symptoms explained by the patient in otosclerosis. Now I'll tell you again, this will be helpful for the remedy selection. Abnormal bone growth around the stapes which causing fixation. Actually these three ossicles they should be movable. तभी जाके वो साउंड पास करते हैं, राइट? हवा आती है, air comes, it will first of all tap on the tympanic membrane to malleus to incus to stapes. They should be vibrating. Got it? They should not be fixed. If they get fixed, they can't pass on the vibrations. But in this condition, stape gets fixed up. What happens is there will be sclerosis. Sclerosis in the stapes. Bone accumulation stapes को fix कर देता है. Got it? So abnormal bone growth around the stapes, matlab stapes which is movable, it gets completely fixed up like this. It will be unable to move, because of which it cannot pass the vibrations into the inner ear, because of which there will be conductive hearing loss. So this is the description. Again, we can think of the rubrics or the medicines basing on this pathophysiology of this disease. Remember, symptoms तो वही रहेंगे. I'll tell you the symptoms, but symptoms के ऊपर देना अलग बात है. Selecting a medicine on the symptoms and selecting the medicine on the pathophysiology. So pathophysiology is abnormal bone growth around the stapes. What could be the cause? Why in females? What happens during pregnancy? Still it is unknown. Again, the studies are going on in this condition also. Slowly progressive hearing loss, tinnitus, normal tympanic membrane. You have examined the ear, otoscope लगाया, ear देखा, सब कुछ ठीक है. Nothing is problematic. No discharge, nothing. Everything is clear. If you ask about the patient, as you said, ma'am, just now, उसको ना discharge होता था ना कुछ भी नहीं. But slowly progressive hearing loss. So obviously, the other system, they advise the removal of stapes, and they will be replaced by, stapes is replaced by a small artificial instrument which remains movable. But another very important factor I have noticed, because my father was an ENT surgeon, he used to perform this stapedectomy. Even after this stapedectomy, again patient comes to us after few days with the same tendency. So I can tell you, all my great homeopaths in the group, otosclerosis is a very, very important condition for us to deal with, where we can prevent the recurrences, we can change the tendencies. So they advise for hearing aids and stapedectomy. Otherwise, there are no medicines for this disease at the other system. Homeopathic management. I have dealt only with one case of otosclerosis, where the patient I have given Calcarea floor in 6 potency and lower potencies. So I have noticed that there is improvement in her, but later on the case, I don't know, follow up nahi hua. Either patient might have been improved or worsened, I don't know. Calcarea floor for abnormal bone hardening, phosphorus hearing loss with ringing, Baryta Kath hearing loss in early ages, and Lycopodium gradual loss worse in the evening. But in this condition, in the symptoms, I forgot to mention that this patient feels or says that जब पब्लिक में रहती हूँ बहुत सारी आवाज रहती है तो मुझे थोड़ा कुछ सुनाई देता है. And the reason for this is an average man increases his pitch to so much high during in the cases of public places. So at that time the patient can listen. In short, the summary table: acute otitis media, acute bacterial or viral middle ear infection. Key remedies are belladonna, chamomilla and heparsal. CSOM is chronic ear discharge through perforated tympanic membrane. Compulsory, this is the difference. Merxol, Cilicia and Graphatis are the basic remedies. OME, that is non-infective fluid behind tympanic membrane. Calimur, Graphites and Calcarea Kath. Adhesive otitis media, fibrosis, that is adherence to tympanic membrane to ossicles, Corsicum and Lycopodium are the remedies. Tympanic membrane perforation, again Cilicia and Sorinum. Cholesteatoma, destructive skin growth in the middle ear, Sorinum and phosphorus. Otosclerosis, stapes fixation due to abnormal bone growth, Calcarea floor and phosphorus. Predominant miasms: acute otitis media, SORA. Chronic suppurative otitis media, mostly psychotic and syphilitic, tendency towards syphilis. Otitis media with OME is psychosis. Cholesteatoma is syphilis. Otosclerosis and syphilis and psychosis. Adhesive otitis media is psychotic and syphilis. So classification of remedies based on the pathology. Acute remedies, obviously, these are presenting with sudden onset, belladonna, chamomilla, ferrophos and aconite. Suppurative remedies include hepasulf, maxol, calcarea sulf and silicea. Chronic discharge remedies include sorinum, graphites and khalibite. Structural disorders which causticum, lycopodium and phosphorus. Glue ear, Talimur, calcarea carb and silicea. Otosclerosis, calcarea fluor, baryta carb and phosphorus. This is, we can say, the classification of remedies based on the pathology. Acute remedies pathology, suppurative stage, chronic discharge. These are all repeated, but in short, I have prepared a small table for your reference. So herewith I end my today's session.
So, doctor, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am. I try my best to clear your doubts.
No, nothing like that. So it's a common doubt. The otosclerosis, I wanted to have a discussion. So otosclerosis, can we treat that? Because this is sclerosis. The word sclerosis
Yes.
is a limitation in homeopathy, right?
Yes.
So can we
Sclerosis
cure
means
that
it is
without
thickening.
surgery?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
ma'am. Yes. Sclerosis means thickening. Thickening is hardening tendency. So calcarea fluor, which has
Yes,
a
yes.
tendency to make the hardening
Dissolve, yeah,
Yes.
dissolving.
Hecla lava. What remedy you remember?
Yes.
Hecla lava.
Yeah, Hecla lava is there.
Otosclerosis. I forgot to mention. Hecla lava can be used in otosclerosis. Again, it
Yeah.
dissolves these hardened tissues.
See, sclerosis means hardening, right?
Yes,
Or
yes,
is it the disintegration of the bone?
No, ma'am. It is hardening.
It is hardening.
Not-
Sclerosis means
Yes,
hardening.
yes.
It means
Sclerosis
accumulating.
means hardening of the bone. Yes.
Okay, something getting more sclerosis.
More
means.
tough. More tough. Yes.
Yeah, more tough. It is getting more tough, and it is generally seen in
tough.
pregnancy. Okay.
Huh. Otosclerosis is seen in most commonly females come to us. And
Yeah,
age
that-
group is also like 30s and 40s. Zyada age bhi nahi.
So last, because I remember a very recent case last week or before 2 weeks back. So one lady, she is already a thyroid patient to me. So she never expressed about her hearing deficiency or something like that. But her hearing loss is very gradual. She is in menopausal age now, and she has gone for this otosclerosis surgery. One fine day, she called me, "Madam, I have done this left ear otosclerosis surgery. Otosclerosis or a hearing deficiency, you never explained that symptom to me. In all these, she will be sitting with me for 40 minutes. She won't leave the clinic at all. But in all these situations also, never she explained about her hearing deficiency. So she said that, no, ma'am, it's so gradual that I did not know to mention that one. And now my left ear hearing is in audiometry. It is completely lost. Like 90% hearing loss is there in left ear. Right ear it is 50%. So they say that it is otosclerosis. I don't know when did I get this. Maybe like you have explained, it could be from her pregnancy or somewhere time like that. And now she went to the surgery. I said that sclerosis ke liye surgery kya hoga? Even then after that also she may be having all the complaints like that. But immediately after surgery, they have advised her to take 3 to 4 weeks complete rest. She is a busy government official, so she can't take rest. But that not to move the head in the left side or something. They have given a very strict pro forma for 3 to 4 weeks of time. But in the first week only she collapsed. She collapsed and she came to me with complete vertigo and she has taken Vertin 32 mg every 2 hours or every 4 hours. Nothing is happening. Like that symptom, she pain, vertigo, everything. She can't even. They say that you need to wait for 3 weeks, but she is not able to bear that. But she came to me after surgery. So then I have given Conium, Calmia, something like that, and it has been treated. So that is not the point. So for this patient, before or for other patients, so I am observing this otosclerosis surgery cases. The surgery is very latest one.
Madam,
procedure.
remember one thing, recurrence is very common. Even after steps निकाल देते हैं इसमें. What surgery is done, I tell you. stapes is removed, an artificial stape-like structure is kept over there. Means minimum
See,
surgery.
no, she had been given.
हाँ,
No,
नहीं, वो-
उनका राइट आर्टरी कुछ निकाल के राइट लाइक रिस्ट में हैंड में कुछ आर्टरी के पार्ट कुछ कट करके कुछ ट्यूब जैसा वो ट्यूब
हाँ।
जैसा उसमें डाला मैडम करके बोल रहे थे. She was not correct. So that's what my question is now.
graft surgery. Some graft might have been there.
Yeah,
But very
what's
important
that
thing-
tubular structure? What is the tube there? Because you are saying that the bone is completely removed and some other bony structure will be kept there.
Not
But-
bony structure is kept. Some vibrating structure. It could be any graft. I don't know about the
Okay.
deeper thing of stapedectomy, but artificial graft is kept over there. But artificial graft also gets sclerosed and stuck up. Remember this.
Okay, so our
मतलब-
medicines are very essential.
होम्योपैथिक हाँ द टेंडेंसी है उसको ऑपरेशन किया तो भी बाद में हो सकता है एंड
Then, when we-
थायराइड लोगों को बहुत होता है कॉमनली अदर हार्मोनल डिस्टर्बेंसेस आर आल्सो ऑब्जर्व्ड इन दिस पेशेंट्स.
Yes, and exactly. So whenever the surgery is done immediately, that means the graft is very tender now. So at that time, I think calcarea floor and Hecla lava should not be given, right?
Yes, we should intervene at that time. We should intervene and start our medicines at that time so that the tendency may be removed along with the constitutional and the antimasculine.
That there we need to intervene with constitutional, I suppose, because Hecla lava and calcarea floor they will dissolve the graft also. And-
They act on the pathology.
And one more case of otosclerosis is there where it is only functional. Like he says that I can listen in traffic, but I can't listen in silent areas. He is absolutely deaf in an area where it is a very big room, very silent room in seminars and meetings where all the big doctors will be. She's a homeopath only, where all big doctors will be speaking very slow, very mildly. They will be speaking. She says that I am absolutely deaf or what, I couldn't hear anything. But in her clinic or like that, she is very good with all the traffic sounds and everything. I never face a difficulty with my patients speaking, but I face difficulty with the seminar halls. So that is where I have taken this rubric like noisy is very good like that, and prescribed nitric acid in that one because
Nitric
that is
acid and graphites. These are the two
Yeah.
remedies.
Nitric acid is
another
the
remedy.
jarring emulsion, riding in a carriage emulsion symptom. is
Even
very
graphites
nitric acid.
also is there in that condition.
Yes.
Yeah, so nitric acid has really, I think it's cured in her case. I get dumb because hearing is not at all a problem now. But I may ask her to go for otosclerosis test also. And one more question is, can we diagnose this otosclerosis with the audiometry test? Because bone
Yes,
conduction,
ma'am.
that also. will be
Audiometry,
same.
From audiometry, we can only know whether the patient is suffering with conductive deafness or sensorineural deafness. Audiometry हमको क्या देता है मैं बताती हूँ आपको कि वो पेशेंट को कौन सा टाइप ऑफ डेफनेस है वो बताएगा. सेकेंड थिंग, which frequency of sounds are getting affected, that only can show by the audiometry.
Okay, so that means bone conducting is different or hello. Yes, madam.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
hear me? Yeah, that means
Yes,
audiometry
yes.
will say this bone conduction is there or nerve conduction is deficiency for the hearing loss, right? So then we need to check if it is bone conduction. It may go into otosclerosis also, right? Am I right, madam? So how would we diagnose otosclerosis? With
Yes.
what test?
Yes,
What
yes.
test we can
Mixed
diagnose?
deafness. It contains mixed deafness. क्योंकि otosclerosis, we have one thing is calcium, very important. High calcium levels are found in these patients. And second thing is hormonal tests are advised. As such, there is no particular specific test to diagnose otosclerosis. That's what is we are lacking over. Calcium test, blood test usually advise करते हैं इसमें. The tool for diagnosis, I can say.
Or any ear scanning will be there to know your otosclerosis. How would the surgeon know?
CT scan of ear. CT scan.
Oh, CT of the ear. Right. CT of the ear is there. Okay, cholesteatoma is also that comes in the CT of the ear only. Yes, right. So if the bone conduction, if the deafness is mixed, then we can go for the checking for otosclerosis, right?
yes, yes.
Because these days now this complaint of otosclerosis is very very fastly growing up, because I am seeing at least 15 cases
Very
in a
common.
month.
Actually,
Mm.
tinnitus, otosclerosis, cholesteatoma, and because of air travel, barotrauma, that is also very common nowadays.
Mm. Yes, yes.
Will anyone,
Tinnitus is
madam,
okay.
anyone to speak?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I have one question.
Yes.
I have been reading
Okay,
one
ma'am.
girl of 23, 24. She had a head injury and in a very big car crash. Like almost they were family were whole family was like about in the verge of this thing, and she came back. Now everything is fine for her. She says she is not hearing in her left ear while she puts her earphones. No, then only she discovered that hearing in left ear is very less comparatively. And then her medicines
Okay.
are thiocinaminum and calcarea floor has been her
Madam,
medicine
your voice
for
is
long
not
time.
clear to me.
Yeah. Can you hear
Can you
me?
repeat the question, madam?
Yes, ma'am. One girl of 24.
मैडम बीच में
yeah.
वॉइस कट हुआ आपका.
Yeah. She has less
Earphones
hearing.
लगाए तो महसूस हुआ है कि she is unable to hear.
Here,
Right?
yeah,
हाँ.
yeah. So, her
Is there any
medicine.
pathology?
No, actually, everything else is okay. Now she has only PCOS and PCOD, and I used to treat her. That also is fine now. Her medicine is basically Pulsatilla, China, and Simicifiga. She is getting on well with that. She has regular menses and all. But hearing,
There are any symptoms and signs of?
hearing is less in left ear.
Are there any other signs of?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay.
Only while using this thing, only she understood that. Now that is improving with thiocinaminum and calcarea floor.
Okay.
But do you think I have to do something else, some other tests or something else? Maybe
Audiometry.
otosclerosis,
First
something?
thing you should advise audiometry, madam. The
Okay.
reason I'll tell you why audiometry you should advise. Okay. If you have a tuning fork, you can check it at your clinic.
Okay.
But I usually have not noticed any homeopath keeping tuning forks
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
clinic.
No, my daughter has. I will try, ma'am. She's out of
So
college.
if you have a
Fresh
tuning
out of
fork,
college. Yes, ma'am.
okay. So if you have a tuning fork, I'll advise you to check her air conduction first,
Okay.
and then keep the tuning fork on the mastoid
Okay.
and check her bone conduction.
हाँ.
Ask her from which side she is able to listen.
Listen
more.
better.
यहाँ से ज्यादा सुनाई दे रहा है, ये यहाँ से ज्यादा सुनाई दे रहा है.
Okay.
First of all, confirm that. ये क्यों? This helps us whether it is a conductive deafness or whether it is a sensorineural deafness.
Okay.
Conductive deafness है तो problem external ear और middle ear में है, which is easily curable.
Okay.
But usually आप जो complaint बता रहे हैं mostly related to the inner ear and that too vestibulocochlear nerve. Now
Yeah,
deafness
okay.
it could be because
Hmm.
without any signs and symptoms. कोई presentation नहीं है.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much.
Audiometry you may advise. Or
Yes.
else tuning fork लेके आप check कर लो.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will do that.
So that nerve deficiency, hearing loss can be treated only. Are there any cases